Liverpool have U-turned on their decision to furlough non-playing staff. They've also issued an apology to their fan base. They faced a lot of criticism in the last 24 hours. This has been a very crazy 24 hours that I don't think Liverpool was seen since the 80s. I've been to Anfield. I've seen how passionate the Liver Bird faithful are, the Red faithful are. I have seen how passionate the Kop can be in full song before kick-off. And that's an imprint that sticks with you as a kid. I went up there for my 7th birthday. I'm now 30, so 23 years ago I went up to Anfield. I have seen the Kop in full song. And Liverpool's statement says they're going to find other revenue streams and another solution to make sure staff get paid, which makes me wonder about how honest all the clubs are being about their finances, where the money's going. It does raise questions about where all that TV money's gone, for starters. And we've seen in other sports and other leagues questions being raised about, dipping into the pot. The NRL, I keep making this example, 10 million Australian dollars from their retirement fund has been misappropriated. So there are going to be questions raised towards the FA, towards the Premier League, towards the EFL about, okay, then you have this money. You're the wealthiest sport in the world and one of the wealthiest league organisations, be it the Premier League and the Football League together. They're two of the wealthiest professional league organisation governing bodies there is. Why then are clubs facing going bust in the lower levels, which has been an issue for a long time, and now is being accelerated by this lockdown? But why are the wealthier clubs, why are they laying off non-playing staff? Why are they furloughing staff on reduced pay? It does raise questions about the governance and the transparency of the clubs and the FA. Now, the PFA are wanting wage deferrals. Liverpool's decision to U-turn, and they say they're going to find another way to make sure staff get paid, doesn't look good for the club or the club's management on behind the scenes and ownership. It really stinks to high heaven. It is also interesting that Everton and Tranmere, both in the Merseyside area, now Tranmere being a lower league club and Everton being a Premier League club, haven't furloughed staff yet. And Tranmere especially, lower league club, really precarious financial situation in comparison. It's going to be interesting to see what other clubs do and how carefully they consider their options, because the reaction's getting worse and worse from the PFA, the media, social media, fan groups. The pressure is now on the clubs. The pressure has come off the players somewhat, but there is still some pressure on the PFA for also dragging out these talks. Both sides have stuck their heels in, and the longer this deadlock goes, the worse the problem becomes. We may see a player strike. We could see a player strike over this, which is going to be really interesting. There's a lot of unknowns, but Liverpool's decision raises more questions than answers, and I wouldn't be surprised now if the PFA are definitely demanding to see all the clubs' books and asking where that money's gone, regardless of that the players are being paid big money and really well paid. They're going to ask the question, if you want us to take wage cuts of 30% approximately to make sure non-playing staff are paid, why is that when you have so much money in the game? Why is it with a massive multi-billion-dollar pound-euro TV deal that the Premier League, and to a certain extent the Football League has a multi-100 million, 500 million pound TV deal. With these TV deals and the amount of money in the game, why is it that clubs are going bust? Why is it that the funds aren't being distributed? And why is it that non-playing staff who keep the clubs running day to day are being screwed over? The players are going to ask questions, and the PFA and the League Managers Association, the two trade unions that look after the coaching staff and the playing staff, they're going to probably want to see the books of the clubs. They're probably going to say, open up your books then, explain yourselves, which then adds extra pressure to the talks. But Liverpool's decision, they're in a catch-22. Their reputation's taken a hit. The fact that they've now admitted they can find other ways of paying the staff makes their decision look, well, selfish, and makes the owners seem out of touch with the situation. And it has pulled the rug from underneath Jordan Henderson, the captain, who's a key part of the PFA because he's a club captain, and Jurgen Klopp. They've been very, very public in their efforts to raise money for the NHS and other key services who are going to work at this time. So we could see a breakdown in trust between the players and their employers, and we could see a breakdown in trust between the players and the FA. We could see a player strike out of this. When football does resume, we could see the players go on strike. So we are at a big crossroads right now, and football has really taken a massive hit reputation-wise that it may take a long time to recover from. And it's not just Liverpool, it's all the clubs. Other clubs in the Premier League that haven't furloughed staff yet are going to look at this situation and seriously have to consider their options, because the PR hit to Liverpool, Tottenham, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Norwich and Brighton, not so much. They've not been as criticised by the media, partly because they're on smaller budgets and they get less revenue. But they haven't been criticised as much, but questions will be asked of them as well. And the other 14 Premier League clubs, there is going to be a bigger spotlight on them now and their next moves over the coming days. Hopefully the talks have a positive conclusion, because this can't continue. The reputational damage to football is there for all to see. And we've seen other sports take the lead with players straight up within 24 hours of leagues being suspended going, we'll take pay cuts. So the pressure is now on the PFA and the FA and the Premier League and EFL to come to some kind of positive conclusion to this, because both sides seem to be dead entrenched on wage deferrals and wage cuts. But I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts below, and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.